worst. But I'm gonna let her tell y'all. Listen at this.
It to you. I think that we've just got a very, very selfish culture of women. And to any woman out there that say I have internalized misogyny or anything like that, that would require that I have a problem with women worldwide. I do not have a problem with women worldwide. I have a problem with Western women. And if you think that I'm just like making this up out of nowhere, reflect on the fact that there are Western men that are flying out east to find wives. Are Eastern men coming out west to find wives? No. Where in the world are men flying out in droves to marry American women? Nobody wants us. Why?
How do you like that? I know it makes too much sense. I know you're a dumb, delusional, westernized woman. So you're going to try to put a spin on this, right? But you can't. I'm here to tell you, you're a westernized woman. You're full of feminist movement rhetoric. You are trash. I'm going to let this woman cook one more time because obviously you're a piece of shit westernized woman and you didn't get it the first time.
I hate to break it to you. I think that we've just got a very, very selfish culture of women. And to any women out there that say I have internalized misogyny or anything like that, that would require that I have a problem with women worldwide. I do not have a problem with women worldwide. I have a problem with Western women. And if you think that I'm just like making this up out of nowhere, reflect on the fact that there are Western men that are flying out east to find wives. Are Eastern men coming out west to find wives? No. Where in the world are men flying out in droves to marry American women? Nobody wants us.
That's
Why?
right.
We're big, we're selfish. We don't want to hear anything. You can't tell me to eat less. You can't tell me to change my life. You can't tell me it's not about me.
That was so harmonious. I'm going to run that back. And you see her name, the Real Feminist. What is that says? Real life. I'm here to tell you, you're a westernized woman. You're full
and wise.
Listen at this.
It to you. I think that we've just got a very, very selfish culture of women. And to any woman out there that say I have internalized misogyny or anything like that, that would require that I have a problem with women worldwide. I do not have a problem with women worldwide. I have a problem with Western women. And if you think that I'm just like making this up out of nowhere, reflect on the Are Eastern men coming out west to find wives? No. Where in the world are men flying out in droves to marry American women? Nobody wants us. Why?
How do you like that?
Nobody wants us. Great way to segue into what I want to talk about here today. People, you're new to the channel, man. Please, by all means, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I am coming to you today to tell you about what a woman wants. Now, I learned something in my short 56 years of living. And what I've learned in my short 56 years of living is, as a man, you will be under the perspective and under the narrative that you're dealing with someone of a logical mindset. You'll be under the impression that you're dealing with somebody from the perspective of a logical mindset, a rational individual. You will never go nowhere near these things when you are dealing with a woman and a woman of color. It's just non-existence. I said you'll never go near these things with women, but with women of color, it's just non-existent. You see the difference. At least with other women, it exists. The further you go along, you can possibly get there, can possibly be achieved. What women of color have shown me is they want absolutely nothing to do with and everything, and I mean everything is about the sisterhood. They have absolutely no interest in dealing with you. They have no interest in standing firm on what you guys are talking about, what you guys are trying to build. Everything that you and everything that goes on and is happening when you deal with a woman of color, the sisterhood has and will have some input, and it will be infiltrated ultimately by the sisterhood. I am not interested in a woman that got friends. I'm not interested in a woman that got a family. I'm just not interested in them. I used to think that if I get with an only child, that was a safe space for me. Now realize that they are the absolute worst. I now understand that I cannot get with the oldest. I realize that I I am best. My best perspective and my best narrative is just leave westernized women alone. So we're going to talk about that today. Um, a lot of you guys, when you date women, you have a perspective and about yourself, of course, and what you ultimately end up doing, what you ultimately, what you ultimately, uh, uh, okay, what you ultimately end up doing, and what you ultimately is trying to do, is you trying to introduce that woman to your strong suits, right? So every woman give you some type of preview of what they was dealing with in the past, and you, unbeknownst to you, you try and make it seem as though you're going to different, or you're going to substantiate a certain level of security when it comes to her dealing with you. You're not going to be there. None of that is going to happen, right? None of that is going to go on with you, right? But you don't realize that she was dealing with that bum. You don't realize she was dealing with that street dude, because that was the type of men she's want. You met her. It ain't like you went to a woman's only want to be married organization that said we only recruit women that want to get married, and you'd be like, well, how do you know? We never ask them a question. We watched them for 9 months. We watched them for 6 months. And then we obviously know them based on their actions. And all the women here, they didn't know we was recruiting them for our wives only thing. You meet a woman that would like fucking nobody but bums, nobody but bad boys, nobody but drug dealers. She got no intention on marriage. She see every woman in her family is single. Candy from Atlanta Housewives, her and Ty going through a divorce now. I don't know how he didn't see that shit coming. And then you try to inject some stability. But what you don't know is that woman, number one, was dealing with what she wants. And number two, you cannot give a woman what you want. You can't. You can only give a woman what they want. And even though you're interacting with them, even though you're giving a woman your time, even though you're giving that woman your life, I'm trying to tell you here today on this 4th of December, 2025, as a 56-year-old man, you are wasting your time. If they dealt with a bum in the past, if they say my child's father don't do nothing for him, hump and dump. If they say I'm single because my child's father, he was gang banging, she's a hump and dump. If she says anything other than we got a divorce because he cheated on me, we got a divorce. If she has multiple children and never mentioned the fact that she was married, every man gave that woman what she wanted. Don't let her tell you that she got done wrong. Every man gave her what she wanted. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm not into the business of trying to understand women no more. I'm not in the business of saying, I'm gonna really try my best to give this woman a good life. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Um, I'm gonna tell you something. Tell y'all something. Break something down to you. Just so you understand. I'm gonna tell you right now, I am not being submissive. If you want to I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna go left for a second. Every day that I live, it's almost like
They're gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna say it. Somebody gotta say it. I'm always saying my thoughts. I'm always let the truth fall out my mouth. I'm not gonna cater to nobody. I'm gonna just keep it real every time. So we don't love the black man no more. The amount of excuses for disrespecting the black man makes me sick. It makes me sick. I hear things like, oh, well, we had to have their babies. We put our life on the line when we had to have them. Baby, he put his life on the line every time he walk out the door to make sure you have everything you need to take care of that baby. His pain and suffering and being worked, enslaved, and having his back broke down, his legs hurting, his knees on fire, his feet on fire, to make sure you have everything you need for that baby does not stop. And then his life is on the line because it's always constantly being threatened because he wants to provide for his family. It's crazy to me. But we're going to ignore that, huh? We just want to talk about how you had to push him out or how you had to get cut off.
yeah, that. Okay, what's that there? They say that right there. Not understanding it. I'm not understanding it. I'm not in the business to learn it. A lot of guys, a lot of you guys, you just really it is really amazing. It is really amazing to for me to sit here today and feel the way that I feel. And the way that I feel is, as much as a man, much as I was that dude that wanted a wife, as much as I was that dude that wanted a family, I don't want nothing with a woman of color. I just don't. I realize again, I did nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing. I did absolutely nothing but waste my time with trying to date a woman of color. That's all I did. That's all I did. I wasted my time. I'm telling you, don't waste your time. Don't do it. Um, don't do it. Uh, there is nothing, nobody coming to get a westernized women. Westernized women are trash, and they know it. They'll try to flip the script. They'll try to say not all of us. Okay, go tell your homeowners insurance. You got homeowners insurance. Hell, you got renters insurance. Tell them you went and got a pit bull. But I got a nice one. See, won't they still raise your rates? They'll still raise your rates. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because it needs to be said. I just seen something out in front of my damn house. Let me go to the front house camera. See what the hell that was. The front house camera. All right. So let me let me go back to something. I'm gonna go back to something. Um, we have uh, a misconception. You guys, you'll have a misconception of what it is that a man is when you talk to women. Again, I'm talking about it here today on my Nuggets at Noon, December 3rd, 2025. What you want to give a woman doesn't matter. It's what that woman wants. So follow me on this take right here. You could go ahead and listen to that woman again that says, all three of my baby daddies are trash. That's impossible. You ever see a woman that's not pretty? Okay, let's be clear. You ever see a woman that's ugly? Ugly, butt ass ugly, but she got her hair done and she's in her feminine energy? Do you not feel as though when you look at her, you just be like, if she say, "How you doing today?" "I'm doing good." God. Or when she's in a feminine energy, say, "How you doing today?" "I'm doing good." And you talk to her, and it's just you ready to talk to her. You ready to give her feedback. You ever see that? And then you see a woman that thinks she's bad, and you go to somewhere, and she's part of the customer service team, and she's supposed to say, "Good afternoon, can I help you?" She don't say that. She just stand there and look at you like, I'm not going to say it because I'm not submitting down to you. So you've seen this. You know how many times I had to walk in places where they supposed to say, "How you doing? Could I help you?" And I'm like, so it's going to hurt you to say that? You know how many times I got into it with chicks? That is the same perspective and narrative in hindsight or unilaterally when they deal with a bum that says, I got three baby daddies, they all was bums. How did bums get so successful with you? How did bums reach the highest plateau of dealing with you, and that is to put a baby in you? Because that's what she wants. You got to understand this. 732-875-9111. Need a consultation. We're doing things different for 2026. I'll definitely keep you guys posted. We'll be back on the Blog Talk Radio Network and simultaneously simulcasting both of these things at the same time. Things are going to be doing. We're going to do different things. We're going to be doing things different for 2025. So stick around, follow me, stay posted. Don't miss a thing. All right, doing things different for 2026. Even thinking about going back to doing my carpet cleaning business, reopen up all businesses. But another story. So again, me personally, I want to thank women. I want to thank the feminist movement. I sat down and I thought about this. Today is Thursday. I thought about this Tuesday. I want to thank the feminist movement. When I heard about Candy and Todd getting a divorce, and I said, and I'm looking at all those clips of Candy just being an arrogant bitch. I'm just listening to her saying her mom was a single mom, or her aunt. Every woman in her family is a single mom. I'm saying to myself, I don't know what Todd thought. Yep, Candy is bad. Yep, she's a pick. Yep, she was the hot one. Yes, she was the catch. All that. But you should have known it when it came down to your mental narratives and your mental perspective when it came to dealing with a woman like that. Nonetheless, me personally, I want to send out a personal thank you to all the women that I've tried to date in my past, because I would have just ended up in a divorce as well. Women ain't trying to go the distance with me. Because listen, women say that some women know that a man, you crossed over the line, a man will cut you off. He ain't trying to hear it. But there are women that will never, ever get to that line. So that man, they'll never see that side of a man. But when you're dealing with these street chicks, when you're dealing with these westernized women, when you're dealing with these alphas, when you're dealing with these independent women, they don't know the lines. So they will always cross the line. When I look at videos, because I'm starting to learn my Spanish, and I was looking at a video about moving to the Dominican Republic, POP, Dominican Republic, and I was like, I was looking at the video and I was like, wow. Listen, a woman overseas crossing the line is not like a westernized American woman crossing the line. It's not. And I'm gonna tell you the difference between a westernized woman crossing the line. And when I watch these videos, I say to myself, I try to feel their energy and say, what would be mad to them? Because they are so deep into their feminine. That's like, I be watching videos of women overseas, and I be like, that is deep into their feminine. That is not like what you see women when you watch videos, when you see American women. So I'm going to tell you the difference between crossing the line in American women and crossing the line women overseas. Women overseas have tradition and values that they stuck with. They are not in any ways in contact with westernized or modern women. So what happens is, I believe that a lot of men want to go up to that perspective of life, and you get the mad in one of them. And I think, I like an individual said, I've been over in Vietnam for a year and 9 months. He said, I've never seen a woman get an attitude. I've never seen it here. He said, I've never seen a woman in line get an attitude. He said, I've been here a year and I've never seen nobody arguing. He never seen it. You cannot go a week without seeing a woman in line somewhere getting mad, on the phone talking about how she don't play that, all these nonsense. And that is the difference. That's a woman overseas. I think when they get mad, it's because you have veered a little bit away from what they expect of you. It ain't like that with westernized women. Westernized women's perspective and narrative is, if you said you was getting off of work at 3 o'clock and somebody didn't come in, so you had to stay an extra hour late at work, and because somebody didn't come in and you had to, y'all needed to get some stuff done. That is perfect for them because you said something with them. Now that opened the floodgates of disrespect. That opened up the floodgates of talking nonsense about you and talking trash about you. And that is the difference. It's like they're mad at you. It's demonic. When my mom was talking to me that day in May back in 2019, that wasn't mad. That was demonic. There was a lot behind that. It wasn't even in the moment. And that's what happens when you see, when I watch videos of foreign women and I think about what I'm dealing with here and with westernized women. That's the difference. That's the difference. I would tell anybody, don't do it. Don't do it. Listen. When I'm doing my consultations, and of course we're in 2025, and a person says, we've been married for about a year and a half. I don't know how that's even possible. I say to myself, you was married a year and a half? I'm thinking marriage is done. Like, what idiot would get married? For all of you guys that's out there that's been married for a year and a half, 2 years, leave your comment below the video. Explain to me how you got married. Explain that to me. I'm curious as to know, what the fuck did you see in a westernized woman to say, yup, the culture, the Me Too movement, the watching these videos where women say it happens in the 70s and they want retribution now under the I'm a different person now, blah, 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 blah. You went 50 years and now you want to sue this person for this and all that. Explain to me how you're only 2 years into a marriage. Explain to me, please. How is this even possible? How did you sign up for such trash? How? Did you Todd and Candy from Atlanta Housewives getting divorced? I'm going to talk about this tonight. Again, I'm not blaming no woman for suckering a man. It's not happening. You ain't gonna get no sympathy from me. When I listen to parts of the prenuptial agreement, if you get sick, I'm not helping you. If you get sick, I'm not helping you. That's a modern woman. And the funny thing about it is, earlier that day, I was thinking about 4 people that I know that died when they were sick. My dad, my friend's father, and I talked to my ex-girlfriend, her father. I think about these individuals that died when they were sick. And the perspective and narrative of the difference between dealing with an American woman, or should I say a modern woman, and a traditional woman, it was between night and day. It was between night and day. So I'm gonna break it down like this. My ex-girlfriend, her father died, unfortunately, from cancer. His stepmom was there with him every step of the way. Every step. I got a friend of mine who passed away about 8 years before he got married. He actually introduced me to this woman. Then his wife died. It was his wife's best friend. Then his wife died. Then he turned around and married his wife's best friend. Go figure. Then he turned around and died a year and a half later. Got sick and died a year and a half later. When he died, his mother said, Smitty, that woman didn't go see Corey in the hospital one time. Didn't care nothing about him. And I said, well, why? I'm saying to myself, that's why when he introduced me to her, I said, I don't want this woman. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I got introduced to her when she was like 50 years old. I was like 44. And I'm saying to myself, how you get to 50, no kids, and never been married? Something wrong with you. You ain't gonna be a test on me. Look, I don't want to date you. No, I'm not doing that. He turns around and married her and get everything that I seen. His father married a woman with 5 kids by 4 different dudes. When he died because his big toe, you got 5 toes on your feet. You know this. His big toe, his nail grew over the toe right next to it and grew into the other 3 toes and was curling back around. And he said, Smitty, when I used to go to my dad's house, I used to smell something. I didn't know what it was. It was the gangrene that was sitting in his dad's feet. When they started caring for his father, one day they went early and his father wasn't dressed yet. So when he came out, when he dropped off, baby, I'll see you later. Because they both was nurses. Called him up, said, you need to get back here. He was like, Sharon, I got to go with the truck. She said, get your back here. And he said, Smitty, I knew something was wrong because his wife didn't curse. He goes back. They rush his father to the hospital. And he said, Smitty, that's what the smell was. They chopped. And the doctor got mad at him and said, why didn't y'all go check on him? This took at least a year and a half to happen. They said, he married. They said, the doctor said, to who? They pointed to his wife, and the doctor just put his head down and walked away. But she had 5 kids by 4 different dudes. Then his dad fucked around and married her. People, I'm not ever blaming a woman for being a piece of shit. I'm not ever blaming a woman for saying, this is what you need to do to get with me. I ain't blaming no woman. I'm blaming the dummy that sits down there and marry them. You're the fucking dummy. Let's be clear. You're the dummy. You're the dummy. And just going back to what I'm talking about here today, you giving a woman what she wants. At 50 years old, no kids, not been married, never lived with a man, here your dumb ass coming along and saying, yeah, I'm going to go against the odds of what this woman wants. Because one day she wake up feeling an itch of, I want a man in my life from the visual of the highest honor of having a man, a husband. and don't know none of the fundamentals or anything to go with it. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. How you going to marry a woman with 3 kids by 3 different dudes? Leave that woman alone. She got what she wanted. And in her reckless of life, and here you come along and you said, you know what? I'm ready to do this. Why? 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 That woman got what she want. You trying to give her a home, you trying to give her the title of wife, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Did I say it wasn't going to work? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I wish you guys would understand this. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Again, I have absolutely no, and I mean no. I mean no. I have absolutely no interest. There's not a moment in my life, and there's not a perspective, a narrative, a bone in my body. Tomorrow is Friday. I look forward to spending Friday night, by myself. I look forward to the days when I start saying it's time to go ahead and put the 3 countries, which is Colombia, Thailand, Vietnam. I'm going to put those 3 countries up on the board, and I'm going to start narrowing it down where I'm moving to, because it's going to be time. But and then that's going to be the first phase, and then I'm going to the next one. I am not under no circumstances going to meet somebody at 56, about to be 57, and then turn around and say, "Yeah, I found somebody to love me." Oh no! Like I said earlier, you think you got a nice pit bull? You think you got a nice one? Call your homeowner's insurance company. Tell your renter's insurance where it said, "Do you have a dog?" And they say, "What kind?" Tell your homeowner's insurance company you got a pit bull. They're not going to say, "We're looking for those magical words. I got a nice one." There you go. Okay. Tell them you got a pit bull. Either you're going to get dropped or your insurance is going to go up. And because of the culture of pit bulls and the culture of American women, they can't deny it. They can't duck. Again, remember. I want you to remember this. I want you to remember what this woman said. Ain't nobody coming here for us. I'm gonna play it again.
I think that we just got
Garbage and all that. I will sit down and have dinner with that woman for days.
Listen,
But the average woman that walks around and you see these.
I want y'all to listen.
Bluetooth disconnected.
I'm gonna play it out loud. I want y'all to listen out loud.
These individuals, they are the absolute worst. Well, I'm gonna let her tell y'all. Listen to this.
I think that we just got a very, very selfish culture of women. And to any woman out there that say I have internalized misogyny or anything like that, that would require that I have a problem with women worldwide. I do not have a problem with women worldwide. I have a problem with Western women. And if you think that I'm just like making this up out of nowhere, it reflects on the fact that there are Western men that are flying out east to find wives. Are Eastern men coming out west to find wives? No. Where in the world are men flying out in droves to marry American women? Nobody wants us.
Nobody wants us. Again, you just got married a year and a half ago. How? I'm 56 years old. I got to see the change. I don't want no American woman. There's nothing one could say to me. There's no beauty in them, nothing. They have spent so much time in trash culture and trash all that, and they want to say, oh, now I want. No, no. Nobody wants American women. I don't know how you got married. Nobody wants those things. I don't know how you did it. I don't. Appreciate y'all being here, man. I will see you guys tonight. I will catch you on the next one.